Hi guys. Okay, today in the old Silver Wolves, we need to talk about a health concern. Let's face it, and this is true for anybody going to field in the springtime. But us old Silver Wolves, we've got other health issues and things like that, and so we want to avoid, if possible, adding to that. And what we're going to talk about is things you get in the field, like ticks, like insect bites. They're going to give us some sort of problem like West Nile virus, things like that. First off, you need to recognize in your area, is West Nile a problem? This is transmitted by mosquitoes or some other, mosquito-borne illness that's prevalent in your area. If so, you need to train yourself in how to recognize the symptoms of it. The other thing is Lyme disease, which is carried by ticks. Now, clothing, proper clothing is going to be a big help, but there's this stuff that you can buy at Walmart, get online, etc., called permethrin, okay? Or permethrin, but permethrin is the name that I understand it by. And it's a insect repellent that's put on the clothing and gear. Now, I have not tried it on one of my wax haversacks. I'm going to say that straight up. I don't know that it would strip the wax off of it. I don't know. But I had used it on hammocks, canvas rucksacks, and a lot of times on clothing, especially in the springtime. Now what you're going to do is take the stuff that you've already washed, it's clean. You want to spray it like you'd spray bug spray upon us, covering the entire shirt, the entire pants, etc. And then you want to put it out and let it hang in the air in the sun and let it completely dry. Do not put it damp on your skin. That insect repellent is designed to treat gear, not us. If you put it directly on your skin, it's too strong, it absorbs and it can make you sick. So we want to spray the clothing with it, okay? Now when I go to the field and wear that clothing, it dry of course, it repels insects. They don't even get on it. As your body heat warming it is exuding out the smell, and so you're a walking stack of insect repellent to help avoid that problem. But now when you get something, let's say a tick on you, not all ticks carry Lyme disease. And even if it is one that carries the Lyme disease, usually it has to stay on you embedded for a given amount of time, normally several hours to a couple of days, for it to transmit. What's happening is when he first latches on to you, he's drinking blood. It's when he starts flushing back to get more blood, that's when he's going to transmit it. So there's a time delay there. And typically when a tick gets on you, he's not engorged, and so it's going to take time. That gives you an advantage. Okay. So if you're in an area that's got a lot of ticks, you should check every day. In fact, a couple of times a day. So at my meals, when I get up in the morning, I'm cooking my breakfast, that's when I'm going to start looking. Did anything get on me during the night? Check the armpits, back of the neck, along the waistband. That's where they tend to get on me. Sometimes up on these fatty areas of the side is when they get on to me. If you find a tick on you, and you can't exactly get to it because where it is, I can touch it with my finger and know it's there. The best thing I found is Vicks Vapor Rub. Plain old Vicks Vapor Rub. I carry this anyway because, like many of you, when I lay down a lot of times at night, when I first lay down, my head plugs up. But I can take this and put it under my nose and keep my head open. It's kind of like a blood pressure thing. When you lay down, it's like your head's under pressure. This keeps your sinuses from closing up and you're breathing. But also, it's basically Vaseline with some camphor in it. If I take a gob of that and coat that tick, he breathes through his skin because his head's embedded in you. So he has to breathe through his abdomen. So if I put this on to him, he can't breathe. He will back out. And it usually happens within a minute or two. So if I've got one on me, I'll take this, especially if it's one I can see right there, yeah, I'll get him another way. But if it's one like right there that I know is there, but I can't do anything, I can't get a good grip on him or nothing because of that, I'll put a glob of Vaseline on it. Actually a glob, I should say, of Vicks Vapor Rub. And he'll back out and I can get rid of him. Now, those of you that also are on blood thinners, be aware of that because any little hole can start bleeding, right? And so many years ago, I had a good friend of mine that we were out on a fishing thing, and we walked into the woods, and one got on him, and we didn't know it. And so we're out on the boat in the middle of the lake doing the stuff, and he did that, ran around, and he found one back up under his collar back there, and he just took his finger and popped it off, not even thinking about that. Well, here he is hot, he's sweating. His shirt's already kind of stuck to him with sweat, and he's not really paying much attention. And he's on the back of the boat, he's behind me. 30, 40 minutes went by, and then he said something, and I turned around, and when he did like that, I saw red. And his back of his shirt was just red with blood because he was such a free bleeder that even that little hole started weeping. So if you're a free bleeder and you're on medication for that stuff, you need to be prepared to take care of that, because even a tick can do that. Because remember, the tick, you don't feel the tick biting you. He uses a way to anesthetize and a way to keep you from coagulating. He wants the blood to be flowing to him. So he exudes an anticoagulant. Well, if you're already somebody that's a free bleeder, that can be bad. So, to recap, insect stuff, as far as mosquitoes, stuff like that, permethrin on the clothes, also deep woods off or some other thing you do. Another thing that you can do to treat you is you can take, if it's okay with your doctor, take B12 or one of the B vitamins. That changes your pH of your blood a little bit and makes you less desirable to all the parasitic insects, like chiggers, like ticks, like mosquitoes, because you don't taste good, because your pH is wrong. All of them require your blood to be in a certain pH. If it's too high or too low pH, you taste bitter to them, and they're not going to want to bite you. So that will help. If you get a tick on you, have you a way to extract it, or at least, again, if it's someplace you can't reach because it's back here or it's back of your thigh and you can feel it but you can't see it, carrying a little mirror is a good idea too, to take a little look, and having this put on to get them off. Check yourself after breakfast, after lunch, after supper, and before you go to bed. Do a quick run around the waist or whatever, and check. Wear clothing that helps protect you. That is what we want to do, because we've already got health issues. We do not want to compound it by adding Lyme disease, West Nile virus, or us bleeding out there and having to come out of the field because of something like that. Take care of yourself, guys. If you've enjoyed this content, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And there'll be more stuff coming up in the Gray Wolf series. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.